Tonight, the Northland is mourning with the rest of Minnesota, and investigators are piecing together what happened after a shooter opened fire on a Minneapolis church during morning prayers, killing 2 children and injuring at least 18 others. Now we're hearing from the family of one of the children killed in yesterday's shooting. The Merkel family are the parents of the 10-year-old Fletcher. Of course, they're going through a lot right now, so they didn't take questions, but here's what they wanted to share.
Please remember Fletcher for the person he was and not the act that ended his life. Give your kids an extra hug and kiss today. We love you, Fletcher. You'll always be with us.
Fletcher has 3 other siblings. 2 of them were in the church during the shooting but were not injured. And within the last hour, we received a statement from the family of the second victim, 10-year-old Harper Moyski. Her family says, quote, "Our hearts are broken, not only as parents, but also for Harper's sister, who adored her big sister and is grieving an unimaginable loss. As a family, we are shattered, and words cannot capture the depth of our pain." And as a part of the investigation, authorities are going through hundreds of pieces of evidence and several electronic devices that belong to the shooter. The hope is that somewhere inside all of it is a specific motive for this attack. Investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen has the latest.
The shooter expressed hate towards black people. The shooter expressed hate towards Mexican people. The shooter expressed hate towards Christian people. The shooter expressed hate towards Jewish people. In short, the shooter appeared to hate all of us.
In this latest briefing, investigators said they're still working to zero in on exactly what triggered Wednesday's mass shooting in Minneapolis. But as we've shown, there is a mountain of evidence that could contain answers.
Literally hundreds of pieces of evidence have been recovered thus far.
5 Eyewitness News is choosing not to show more of this disturbing video manifesto, but some of the handwritten words and symbols in it reveal the killer's obsession with other school shooters and interaction with an online network of extremist groups.
There's actually a lot to learn.
Even if the shooter was not previously on the radar of authorities, retired FBI Special Agent Jeff Van Ness says this person still may have leaked hints of their plans.
We know from the FBI's research that in over 90% of these types of cases, the individual has confided in someone that they plan to do something involving violence.
Investigators say they've now interviewed dozens of people who knew the shooter, including relatives. But Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara revealed one key person is not yet on that list.
I know we have not been successful in talking to the shooter's mother yet at this time.
And as we've reported, the shooter's mother previously worked at Annunciation. Again, investigators telling us this afternoon they did not have any previous contact with the shooter that they say would have raised concerns about the kind of violence that we saw play out yesterday. Well, new images today show the stained glass windows police say the suspect shot through now boarded up. The front door also boarded up, tiny pieces of glass still on the ground. Minneapolis police chief saying the shooter barricaded the doors from the outside to prevent escape. Police say the shooter, whom they've identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They say the shooter had no prior criminal history and had recently purchased the guns legally. In an update today, FBI Director Kash Patel says there is evidence demonstrating that this was an act of domestic terrorism, saying it was motivated by hate-filled ideology. The FBI is still investigating. And the State Patrol and Minnesota DNR are teaming up to help provide more law enforcement presence in Minneapolis. Governor Walz ordered the deployment to support public safety efforts around schools and places of worship. 14 troopers and 6 conservation officers will be organized in 2-person squads. And communities from all over are showing their support, many adding to growing memorials at the church. Reporter Brett Hofflin with how the church has been a space to heal from this incredibly traumatic incident.
I was pretty close to it. It was scary.
That's Delia, a 5th grader who was inside the Annunciation Catholic Church when the unthinkable happened.
Pretty surreal to start off yesterday at 8:30 with a text that there's a active shooter.
Delia's father, Eddie, rushing to the school Wednesday morning.
Probably about 45 minutes after I arrived here, that I got to see her and hug her.
What was it like the moment when you finally saw your dad?
I was embracing it because I missed him so much.
That's just pure joy. Yeah, right?
In the hours since the horrific shooting that left 2 children dead and 18 hurt, people gathered to embrace one another.
They can talk through their feelings and then receive support from their friends.
Sam Randall is with the organization Treehouse, providing mental health support to young people.
I'd like to think we can't solve anything today, but we can make a small difference.
Hugs of support and praise for those who stepped in during the critical moments.
I'm proud of them. I'm proud of what they did, but I'm sad that any human being had to live through that.
Delia wasn't physically hurt in the shooting, and her family is happy to see the community wrapping their arms around each other.
I'm just happy that everybody's here.
Brett Hoffland, WDIO News.
And as communities want to recover, we remind families that there are local mental health resources for kids and teens processing their trauma. Our reporter William Lean is here after meeting with mental health experts.
Yeah, one helpful and simple resource is texting or calling 988. Now, Liam, of course, there isn't one way to deal with trauma or grief, and the experts say it takes time and space and support from loved ones and peers. I spoke with Essentia Health's Grief Support Services, who say there are a few telltale signs that a person is struggling with that traumatic experience. It could look like they're having a difficult time concentrating in class, disrupted sleep patterns, and other intrusive thoughts. But there are steps to restore that mental health imbalance.
One of the worst things that we can do is re-expose ourselves to trauma images in the media. And human beings tend to be sort of information seeking by their nature. And so if you're able to regulate that and go out and take a walk, have lunch with a friend, or other kinds of distractions that aren't necessarily isolating.
Another recommendation is don't wait to seek help. The longer someone avoids their mental health needs, the more it interferes in their lives. Liam, we're going to be continuing this mental health conversation for youth tonight at 10 on how parents can recognize the signs that their children are still struggling.
Thanks so much for that report there, William.